and welcome back today to SEDA College Online. And I'm Emma, and I hope you enjoyed yesterday. And any questions you have, again, leave any comments after, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So like yesterday, just have a pen and paper, and you can do some practice if you like. It's good for you to do because it helps you understand better, and it's good for you to practice. Okay, so today our learning outcomes are present simple, okay, something we use every day, and then describing people's personality. Okay, so we're going to learn some words today. So to start off, uses. So what do we use the present simple for? We use the present simple when you want to talk about something you do regularly. Okay, so again, something we do maybe every day. Okay, so I usually get up at 7:30. Now, usually doesn't mean all the time. Okay, it's 80% of the time. Okay, so you can also say I always go to bed at 10 o'clock. Okay, to talk about facts that are generally true. The sun rises every day. It's a fact. Okay, so the sun rises every day. So that's when we also use the present simple. Now we're going to look at a table here. And in the table you'll see we have two columns. The first one, I, you, we, they. And the second one, he, she, it. So, positive. We have positive, negative, question. Okay, so I usually work at home. Okay, and then he, she, it. Fernanda knows me very well. Knows. Okay, you'll see the verb changes here. We add s to know. Negative. They don't live near here. Okay, so they do not live. Contraction. It's always good to use contractions in English. It makes your conversation, just makes everything flow. Okay. He doesn't like vegetables. He doesn't like vegetables. Because it's third person, we have to use doesn't like. Note the spelling as well. Question. Do they like English? And then another question. Does Joe like jazz? Okay, so in the questions, you can. These are the ways we do the short answers. Yes, I do. No, I don't. Yes, she does. No, she doesn't. Okay, so for I, you, we, they, we use I. Yes, I do. No, I don't. You can also say yes, we do. No, we don't. The third person again, I only have she there, so you can say yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Okay, so just a little information there for you to take in. Okay, the next one, spellings, guys. Okay, so unfortunately in the third person, there's a lot of rules. Okay, so let's have a look at some of them. Spelling rules for the third person. You'll see the columns here. Okay, infinitive is the verbs. Third person, what do I do with the verbs? And then the spelling rules. Okay, so work becomes works. We add s. Okay, study becomes studies. Chop the y and add ies. Okay, so yeah, and consonant plus y. Okay, just remember that. Finish becomes finishes. Add es after sh, ch, s, and x. Go and do. They become goes and does. Okay, not do's. We don't say do's, we say does. Add es. Have becomes has. He, she, it has. Okay, so change to s. They are our rules, our spelling rules that we need to know. Now you're going to do some practice. Okay, so look at the words that I've written down here. These are all verbs. I want you to write the correct. I want you to add s, es, or maybe ies, okay, to these following verbs. So again, take out your pen and paper, and you can write down. You only need to write down the third person verbs, okay? So see, take, call, play, watch, cut, swim, catch, fly. Just look at the endings of all of these, okay? And use the rules to help you. Come, brush, kiss, give, study, help, cry, teach, choose, carry, lose. Okay? So I just want you to sit there and look, and just while you're doing them, okay, as I said, look at the word watch. That's got CH at the end. What do I add to CH? And then fly has Y. Remember with the Y, what do we do with the Y, and what do we add to that? Okay. Again, any words ending in E, what do I need to add? Any ending words like kiss, it ends in S. I need to add 2 letters to that, okay? So, and just, yeah, don't forget study again, Y. What do I do with the Y? Okay? So, don't worry if you're not finished, okay? Don't panic. Don't say she's going too fast. Just don't panic, okay? So, I'm going to go on and show you the answers. You'll have a few anyway done, so let's see. Okay, so C becomes C's. We only add S. Take becomes takes. Again, it ends in E. We only add S. Call becomes calls. Play becomes plays. Now you're going to ask me, well, why do I not change that to IES? Well, play has a vowel before Y, so we don't put IES, okay? So you keep and just add S to this one. Watch becomes watches, CH, we only add ES. Cut becomes cuts. Swim becomes swims. Catch becomes catches. Fly, there's a Y here, okay? So we have to get rid of the Y and we just put IES. Come, comes, only add S because there's an E at the end of this verb. Brush, now brush ends in SH, so again, it's like the CH. SH becomes ES, so brushes. Kiss, kisses. Give, gives. Study, studies, the Y. Help, we only add S, helps. Cry, ends in Y as well. Cries. Teach, teaches. CH, ES. Choose becomes chooses, ES. Carry becomes carries. And lose becomes loses. Okay? Now, you have the spelling there. Now let's just go back over. There's a few here that I assumed that maybe some of you may find difficult with the pronunciation. So I'm going to go back over and read them all. Okay, so just take note of how I say most of these. Sees, takes, calls, plays, watches. Okay, so watches, cuts, swims, catches, flies, comes, brushes, kisses, gives, studies, helps, cries, teaches, chooses, carries, loses. Okay? Now these are only a few verbs. You can do practice yourself. I mean, you can look up other verbs and put them in the third person, okay? Using the rules that I've given you today, you can practice them and you can practice the pronunciation as well, okay? So yeah, if you want to do this in your own time, think of other verbs and you can change them and using the rules, okay? You can do this. Remember the Y, remember the CH, the SH, okay? All of these ones, you can practice yourself, okay? Now I'm going to give you an exercise to do with don't or doesn't, okay? So you need to fill in. Now just remember, I, you, we, they, don't. He, she, it doesn't. Using these sentences, figure out what person is it and then choose don't or doesn't, okay? Again, you only need to write down the answer. Remember, you're going to be given this handout, okay? So everything I do will be given to you. So Bill play tennis every day. So Bill, okay? We go to the park. Fernanda like to eat fish. That's supposed to be likes there, okay? That's a mistake. Oh no, that's okay because it's negative, okay? Sue wear long dresses. I like to get up early. My sister like to drink Coca-Cola. See, it's difficult for me to say because my sister is a third person, and for me to say like with a third person, it's very difficult. So I mean, I know we're using don't or doesn't, and the verb doesn't change. But to say this, it is difficult. My uncle speaks Spanish very well, but using the negative, it's no problem to speak. I like to walk with my dog. We go to the cinema. Mary like to wear shorts at all. Remember, you're putting in the negative, okay? So just write the negative for each one. First one, Billy doesn't play tennis every day. Bill doesn't play tennis every day. Doesn't play. We don't go to the park. Fernanda doesn't like to eat fish. Sue doesn't wear long dresses. I don't like to get up early, which is very true. My sister doesn't like to drink Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is bad. My uncle doesn't speak Spanish well. I don't like to walk with my dog. We don't go to the cinema. Mary doesn't like to wear shorts at all. Do you see that? Bill doesn't. We don't. Fernanda doesn't. Sue doesn't. I don't. My sister doesn't. My uncle doesn't. I don't. We don't. Mary doesn't. Okay, so just that's the correct negative forms we use with each one of those. Now we're moving on, okay? We're going to move on to adverbs and expressions of frequency. What's the use, okay? So why do we use these? We use these every day, okay? So, but why and when do we use them? To indicate approximately how many times something happens. We often use the present simple with adverbs of frequency, okay? Always, which is 100%. Usually, often, sometimes, hardly ever, and never is 0%. Now, adverbs of frequency go before the main verb. We often go. Often is the adverb of frequency. Go is the main verb, and we use the adverb of frequency before. We often go to the restaurant for dinner on Sunday. Guys, don't say we go often to the restaurant for dinner. It's not correct. I always get up at 7:30. Okay, so I always get up at 7:30. Adverb of frequency, go after the verb to be. She's never sick. Verb to be, she is never sick. Don't say she's sick never, okay? Incorrect. Remember to use a positive verb with never. It never snows. Not, it doesn't never snow. Okay, so that's incorrect as well. It's always good to look at the incorrect things because these are popular things that people say, but they're incorrect. Okay? Now, expressions of frequency include. So what do we use? And you may have some yourself, okay? I've just written down a few. Every day, once a week, every year, every morning, twice a week. These go at the end of the sentence. I get up early every morning. Don't say every morning I get up early. I go to school every day. Don't say every day I go to school. I go to the gym 3 times a week. I go to the cinema once a month. Don't use them at the beginning. Use them at the end. It's very important. Now, your turn. So, put the words in the correct order. Please remember, okay, the rules, and just go through them, and I want you to write down the correct order of these sentences. The first one, go swimming sometimes on Saturdays, I. Number 2, in our house, cold, it's often. 3, usually is Sam after school hungry. So just the correct order. Goes never, my friend Sue cycling. Mark and Ted, books hardly ever read. Late work, I'm for never. Snows in Ireland, hardly ever it. I my homework in my room do always. So I'm just going to give you a minute to think about how do I put these in the correct order. Okay, so just, go through each one. Remember the rules. Remember the verb to be. Remember the main verb. Does it go before or after the main verb? Does it go before or after the verb to be? Okay, these are things that we just went over. So try, if you don't know, don't worry, okay? Because we're going to go through the answers. So whatever you have done now, don't worry, don't panic. Let's go through the answers together. First one, I sometimes go swimming on Saturdays. Sometimes go, okay? It's often cold in our house. Often, okay? So it's often, the verb to be. Sam is usually hungry after school, okay? Sam is usually hungry after school, verb to be. My friend Sue never goes cycling, okay? Never goes. The main verb here is goes. 5. Mark and Ted hardly ever read books, okay? Hardly ever read. Read comes after. I'm never late for work. I'm, the verb to be, I'm never late for work. It hardly ever snows in Ireland. It hardly ever snows in Ireland. Which is true, it doesn't really. We might get one year where it snows for 2 or 3 months and then that's it. But sometimes we could go 4 or 5 years without any snow. So fingers crossed, because I am not a fan of snow. Especially when you fall on the street. I always do my homework in my room. Okay, I always do. Do is the verb and it comes after always. Okay? Now, the next part, guys, is describing people, personality. Okay, so personality. So think in your head, how would you describe people? Okay? Clever. Clever is another word for intelligent. Okay, so somebody who is clever, they know a lot of things. Okay? Are you clever? I'm sure you are. You're learning English. Shy. Somebody who doesn't like speaking to other people. Okay? I'm not shy. Funny. Okay? And funny is a person who likes to make other people laugh. Okay? So a person who likes to make other people laugh. Generous. A generous person likes to give things to other people. Okay, so they like to make maybe cakes and things and they like to give to other people. Kind. Okay. A person who is nice, nice to other people. Polite would be another word. Friendly. They like to talk to other people. Okay, a friendly person. Lazy. Lazy people just don't like doing work, okay? And then talkative. A person who is talkative. We all know people who are talkative. They just love talking, okay? So a person who is talkative is a person who loves to talk a lot. And again, with all of these, we all know people like these. So, looking at these, okay, just have a look at them. Take note of what I've said in your head. And the next part is using, you're going to practice and using the adjectives here. I want you to fill in these sentences, okay? So just go through them and I want you to write down the correct adjective for each one, okay? So, number 1, a person who is open and warm is, which adjective there would you use? A person who talks a lot is. A person who likes giving people things is. A person who is friendly and good to other people is. A person who doesn't want to work is. A person who makes people laugh, ha ha ha, is. A person who is quick at learning and understanding things is. A person who can't talk easily to people he or she doesn't know is. Okay, so just go through them and write down the correct adjective for each one. So number 1, correct adjective. Number 2, correct adjective. Or even do it in your head, whichever you prefer. Okay, let's go on to the answers. Right, so a person who is open and warm is kind. A kind person, open and warm. A person who talks a lot is talkative. A person who likes giving people things is generous. Cakes. Likes giving cakes. A person who is friendly and good to other people is friendly. A person who doesn't want to work is lazy. Now, lazy, it can be, you can be lazy maybe, I don't know, Sundays. Maybe on Sunday you don't work and, you're lazy. So everyone's lazy now and again. But a person who doesn't want to work at all is lazy. A person who makes people laugh is funny. A person who is quick at learning and understanding things is clever. A person who can't talk easily to people he or she doesn't know is shy. Okay, so again, they're very shy. Now with all these adjectives, with all of these, there's always opposites. So let's have a look. I've written opposites up here in the table, the top part. Extrovert, hardworking, mean, quiet, serious, stupid, unfriendly, unkind. Okay, so I want you to look at the adjectives in the first column and write the opposite to each one. Take a look and do that now. So just look at clever. What's the opposite of clever? Friendly, funny, generous, kind, lazy, shy, and talkative. So you're writing the opposite meanings to all of these. Choose each one. So just write down the opposite of each one. And again, if you don't have a pen and paper, just do it in your head and see if you are correct. Okay? Let's have a look. See how you got on. So here we go. Clever, opposite, stupid. I don't like this word. In my opinion, nobody is stupid. But in the definition, the opposite of clever is stupid. Okay? Nobody is stupid, I think, anyway. Friendly, opposite, unfriendly. Yeah, somebody who is not friendly, they're unfriendly. Funny, serious. Somebody who is not funny is serious. Generous, the opposite of generous is mean. Kind, unkind. Lazy, hardworking. Okay, so a person who is the opposite of lazy is hardworking. Shy, extrovert, talkative, quiet. Okay, so all of these are the adjectives to describe people, and I'm sure you've got maybe some more of your own, but these are pretty common ones that we use. Okay, so guys, that's it. Like I said, if you have any comments, any questions, or need any help with anything, please leave a comment and I will help you. Just give me time, but I will get back to you as soon as I can. So guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day and see you tomorrow.